And it's PlayStation versus Xbox. Who kills physical games the most, right? Or who's done the most damage to the physical game world? Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you Xbox 100%, and it's not even close.
Is that the reason why Microsoft is putting the games on the cartridge for Nintendo Switch while you got PlayStation out here ending the production of the Blu-ray disc? Man, this is the same PlayStation removing movies out of active PlayStation Plus accounts, man. If they could do that for movies, what makes you think they can't even do that for games now? See, you ponies are ridiculous, man. All because, I mean, Rockstar humbled you and said, hey, stop promoting our game even though you guys said it sells the best on PlayStation. Free marketing. So much for that PS5 Pro update. I mean, you guys out here getting roasted by even companies like KFC and Domino's Pizza. What the hell are you ponies talking about? Now, mind you, a neutral gamer would go as far to say that, yes, both of these companies have been involved in pushing these anti-consumer practices. We're fully aware of that. But to sit there and say that Xbox or this is doing the most damage, as far as I'm concerned, Sony did, because we don't even know if there might be a CD drive, even with the Helix. Imagine how foolish you would look that PlayStation is removing that out of their own device, and Microsoft having a disk drive, that's if they do, in the Helix. Oh, man, you know we're going to come back to this video, man. We got the receipts ready for y'all. But I'm hearing that even if Microsoft does have the disk drive for the Helix, I'm hearing that it's going to take the files from the disk and give you a digital license instead. So, like I said, it's still destroying physical media in a way. So, like I said, these are just things that I'm hearing, right? I guess you could say rumors. So, take it with a grain of salt.
But what Sony is about to do is about to be vastly disappointing. We still got to 2028 to see how Sony is going to fully implement this. But what Microsoft has done since then, 2013, all the way till now, is not something you have to wait on. The damage is done. It is continued to
Well, what do you mean? I still got Xbox One disc. Matter of fact, if anything, the Xbox disc is actually better than the one on PlayStation. Because Microsoft, at least for a lot of titles that I have currently, like Sonic Shadow Generations, it has the Xbox One game, but I also get the Xbox Series S, or I'm sorry, the Xbox Series X upgrade. That's something that Nintendo could even learn with their own platform, you know, by dropping all these damn game keys they got coming out, even though they got the game on Switch 1, but yet you ain't got the game on Switch 2, and even if you want both versions, they're telling you that you gotta pay $50 for each version. Do you understand how crazy that is? I understand that it's the cool thing to point the finger at Microsoft for everything, but like I said, man, I buy an Xbox One Series X game, and I get the free upgrade and the free enhancements. Nintendo and PlayStation, they talking about how I gotta pay. Even third party going as far to say, because I seen the Metal Gear, was it Solid Collection? They don't give you the free upgrade. It's ridiculous. They expect you to pay $50, even with the Kingdom Hearts. $50 for the Switch 1 version or something like that. And then $50 for the Switch 2. No free upgrade. Like, it's crazy. It's like, make the games for the Switch 1 cartridge and then do an online update for a free upgrade. Some third party developers or indies are doing that, but for some reason, some of these companies are not on Nintendo. Now, that is a huge concern for me, considering that some people do like the games on the cartridge. Well, guess what? Regardless of wherever you go, you're going to have to pay full price. It's crazy, man.
Done consistently. Now,
what do you mean? I still got Xbox disc. There's a lot of games on Xbox that are actually not minor. There's a few that aren't, like Starfield, I think Doom. But that same logic also applies to PlayStation. The same game that's not available on Xbox is the same game not available on PlayStation with the Xbox disc. But y'all still went out there and bought Doom Dark Ages anyway, right? The funny thing is, you got Microsoft putting more physical media on the Nintendo Switch 2 than they're doing on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Now, that's a question y'all need to be asking.
You got a lot of Xbox fanboys that want to cope so bad that you got some idiots, too, also on the PC.
Oh, yeah, we want to cope that PlayStation is the one shutting down the Blu-ray CD. Not Microsoft, PlayStation. We still don't even know what Microsoft's going to do with their Helix. They might have a disk drive. I said it probably won't. We'll see. But if anything, if there's any disk drive for any of these platforms, let it be the PS6, it's mostly going to just be there to carry your old catalog. That is it. But in regards to new games, which we already know, like Sony said, by 2028, no game is going to be on the disc. Right? So they've already kind of alluded that to y'all already.
But I have to say this because this is what they're saying, who literally think that Sony is in a worse position than Xbox. I'm like, that's not even possible.
Oh, really? I mean, you kind of are, because we haven't heard from Microsoft that they're shutting the disc. We haven't heard from that. But PlayStation, we already know. Now, mind you, is Xbox going to do it? More than likely. I'm not here to deny that, but I'm just saying Sony is the one that came out and announced that they're stopping production on the disc. Microsoft has not come out and said it. They haven't. You can make assumptions that they have, but they haven't said it. Just saying.
Because when Sony's doing this, it's where the market is the most manipulative and the most profitable, and the gamers and everybody has spoke.
So you want to damage control and defend that, but then you want to bash Xbox? That makes no sense. Yes, most Xbox gamers buy things digitally. But you don't sit there and say, oh, the reason why Game Pass exists because of the market. But when it's PlayStation, then it's okay for them to remove the physical media. You see what I'm saying? You ponies don't stay consistent with what you're saying, bro. You people ain't nothing but a bunch of fanboys, bro. Every time this man speaks, he don't know what he's talking about. Somebody tell Little Lono to calm the hell down, bro.
By 85 plus digital percentage ratio.
Oh, that's the excuse to get rid of it now. But if it's Airbox, we gonna point the finger at them.
The whole world is kind of like the same thing with Netflix. That's what people have supported. It's different when it's not there and you're trying that. And this comment right here actually
we know that.
Into this. So become a member for only $3. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into this. Mighty Bazell says, it's interesting the difference between these two disasters, though. 100% a difference. Xbox was simply stupid. You killed the beginning of your generation with the biggest carryover in gaming history for Xbox. Like the 360 install base that was carrying over to Xbox One could have been ginormous. They messed it all up. Remember what Phil Spencer said? We lost a war with the Xbox One to the Xbox Series carryover. Sony had 118 million install base,
and we're more likely not going to get that with the PlayStation 6, especially with all this negative backlash of Sony pulling movies out of people's accounts, ending disc production. I mean, I think Microsoft has a better foothold going forward towards their next platform than when PlayStation. All right? Paying for online. I mean, at this point, PlayStation right now is just a dummy terminal. Why would anybody want this crap?
That was an automatic conversion. Nintendo had 154, 155, right? You see, that automatic carryover is an automatic...
What are you talking about? The Wii U had like 13 million hardware sales. That carryover came from the 3DS and then some. What are you talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. You have no gaming knowledge, bro. You want to sit there and you want to act like you know things about video gaming when you don't even know what you're talking about. Where do you think that 155 million Switch 1 users came from? Oh, yeah, that's right, the dying Wii U. Oh, wow. It's so funny to see that a failure can lead to a successful platform. Just like PS3 to PS4. Like GameCube to Wii. Wii U to Nintendo Switch. It's so funny how a system or a company can bounce back right after a failure. But Xbox can't. Even though the original Xbox sold like 30-something mil, and then the 360 did wonderful. Xbox One, well, it did reasonable, like 40, 50 mil. That's pretty reasonable considering how bad they started that gen. And then Series is a little less than that, but that doesn't necessarily mean a company can't bounce back because you deem it as a failure. That makes absolutely no sense, because if we use your logic, then the Switch wouldn't be where it is today, according to what you're saying. Just saying.
Victory. Microsoft could have had a huge carryover with 360 to Xbox One, but when they did that, not only did they try to kill physical copies when digital was very low, it's like the percentage...
No, they just told you what was going on. You guys got mad at the truth, and Don Matrick sat there and was transparent and told you guys as to what's going on with gaming. That's why you ponies out here upset. All this coping that y'all have been doing, when Don said you want an offline device, buy a 360, because they already knew where the direction of gaming is going. And we know because look at what PlayStation's doing. You guys are just upset because you invested thousands of your dollars and your money into a system which is taking your movies, possibly can remove your games. I mean, if they're doing it for movies, they could do that for games. They deem it as a license, right? You should see what PlayStation says. Does PlayStation say that you have games, or does it says restore license? Why would you even have a feature called Restore License if the games that you're purchasing are games that you own? That right there is already enough proof to begin with. But no, Nope, the ponies would rather ride it until the wheels fall off, even though Sony has backstabbed you and betrayed you from the very beginning and lied to your faces.
Of what digital is now, right? You would think about physical was like 85, 90% at that time. But digital was like 10%, 15%. It was growing, it was going fast, but that was the worst time to do it. So they tried to actually take something that was actually way low at that moment and kill off physical. Like, they were hurting that market. They never were about physical like we thought they were. It's a PC company to begin with. Think about PC. They never were about physical. Nintendo was always, first and foremost, the most...
I mean, PC was physical, and then they reverted it. You know what I'm saying? Then they changed it.
Amazing company when it comes to physical. The difference is that what Sony was doing is they were giving you the biggest third-party support across the entire industry for physical disc. PlayStation has always had a disc phenomenon. Think about the PS1 disc phenomenon. Think about the PS2 and the DVD disc phenomenon.
That's because back then it wasn't, you couldn't download games. Matter of fact, since you don't know your gaming history, PlayStation was actually trying to introduce digital far before you even think Microsoft. Far before that, PlayStation Broadband Navigator in Japan, where you could download games to a storefront. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. PlayStation was already working on these things. That's why that's why you could put a hard drive on the flat PlayStation 2 model. Y'all like, damn, Gabe. So see, I know too much, bro. You're an amateur when it comes to gaming logic.
The PS3 and the Blu-ray disc phenomenon. Sony has such a legacy with disc, and it's so massive because they've always been much bigger than Xbox, that of course this is going to become a catastrophic phenomenon. We just have to look at this in the most intelligent manner. So Sony was not stupid by what they just announced. And this, we have to prove this. Xbox was stupid. They didn't know what they were doing. They thought they knew what gamers wanted. They never understood gaming.
No, they knew exactly where gaming was heading to, and they were preparing you guys for that inevitable foreseeable future. You ponies just wanted to damage control and look at these stupid marketing from PlayStation. This is how we give our disc, not realizing that they put a CMOS battery in your PlayStation the whole time. You guys are the dumb ones. The ones that supported Xbox knew what they was getting. You are the dumb one because you fell for the trap. You big dummy.
Ladies said basically, they lack basic understanding of the gaming industry.
They lack so much basic understanding that gaming right now is going to be a digital-only future. What are you talking about? What are you even saying? Because if Microsoft lacked so much basic knowledge in gaming, Sony would still be printing out discs, would they? That just shows you that there was a transition period of what Microsoft seen, because they always do that. They're always ahead of the game. They're like Sega. They're always ahead of the game. They always see things that most other companies don't see. And then look what happened. You get what I'm saying? And now the ponies are upset. Now you got MBG out here crying about my physical media, man.
Futures and restrictions, TVs and all that, and Connect. Though you had your clear answer with the 360, they thought people desired or wouldn't be bothered by. So the company handed so much of Sony its FPS base. Remember they had the Call of Duty rights, Halo, Gears, like all of that. It went over and migrated to PlayStation instantly. And then they made that video of PS4 disc, how to share and do all that. Right?
Well, which we all know was a lie.
This is what Microsoft did. And then they introduced the Game Pass.
What do you mean? Microsoft didn't do that. Sony did it. Sony lied to you. Sony told you. Like I said, Microsoft has been transparent. They've been telling you want an offline device, buy a 360. That's being transparent. Sony's the one that lied to you and said, "This is if you want to trade your games, this is how we do it." Sony lied to you, bro. How you blaming Xbox for Sony lying?
In the Xbox One era and put all first-party games there day one. And made it to where you could pay $1 to make multiple accounts, get free ones for years. Nobody will be supporting physical copies then. Because you're renting everything and just paying everything for free.
Well, I guess you're renting games on, or should I say renting movies on PlayStation, because for some reason PlayStation removed movies out of people's accounts. I guess people that purchased these movies thought they owned them. Well, PlayStation said, nope, those movies belong to us. They did a highway robbery. And yet you was out here damage controlling and defending this garbage.
Done with it. So nobody's going to go buy any physical then. They start putting disc support on halt and putting codes in boxes. And people just had Game Pass accessible on PC too. and PC was no physical. So Microsoft was trying to set up an industry to be successful to where it would be huge like Netflix and kill off everything like Blu-rays would be killed off and DVDs. Microsoft was...
PlayStation is the one killing off the Blu-ray. What are you talking about? PlayStation came out and said that they're stopping Blu-ray. Not Xbox, not Nintendo, Sony did. Sony said they're stopping production. You see how these ponies operate? You see how they act? You see how stupid they sound? Every time they want to blame Xbox for every bad thing that's going on in the gaming community, when Sony's also very much involved in the same things you are blaming Microsoft for? Makes no sense, bro.
Was no physical. So Microsoft was trying to set up an industry to be successful to where it would be huge like Netflix and kill off everything like Blu-rays would be killed off.
Well, how is Microsoft successful? How would Microsoft be successful enough to do that? Remember, they don't sell that many hardware sales. Remember, they're not the market leader. How can something that's not the market leader dictate the way gaming is going? Oh, exactly. You see, you have no real proper arguments, man. You are the laughing stock of the gaming community, bruh. Mr. Little Loner over here with a beanie.
Microsoft was really trying to kill physical. And just because that's not what they wanted. You see what I mean?
That's not what Sony wanted? Sony's not the one taking the bulldozers to the disc production companies that they have working on PlayStation disc?
What it was,
Microsoft did it? Microsoft is the one shutting down PlayStation's own disc printing companies?
Service, digital, DRM lockout, and to monopolize that to where you can't even lend it. And they're going to make a monopoly on that and make more money.
Even Nintendo is pushing for digital. And I'm telling you, Nintendo's going digital. Enjoy those little game cartridges while you still can. Nintendo is pushing for digital, bro. And the game key wasn't done by accident. I'm hearing that Nintendo will probably put more games on a cartridge to take advantage of what's going on with PlayStation. You know, of course, that's how companies see things. But don't get it twisted. Nintendo's future is also digital too. It's also digital. So you guys can keep lying to yourself, but yet we're going to be right back to the same chopping block. Just saying.
Physical ownership has been attacked by Microsoft for a very long time before PlayStation even came close to this, right? This is just the truth because we see what they're doing. All Xbox fanboys were saying, yeah, put everything everywhere. A Game Pass is the best thing in gaming, and it's a renting service. They don't have to go buy physical copies. Their sales take down significantly. They weren't supporting the industry. It was all about putting everything on the subservice. So there was no physical ownership, and they were comfortable with that. They're all a bunch of hypocrites. That's why I say I don't take them serious. Now, moving down.
I mean, how can you say they're a hypocrite when they went out and supported it? That's not a hypocrite. A hypocrite is you ponies advocating for something and then double backing and defending it now. That's a hypocrite. You're saying that Xbox gamers were doing these things. They told you what they was doing. How is that a hypocrite? A hypocrite is a person like you talk about, I love physical media, and then you talk about, I'm a digital guy now. That is a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You the one that told people, look at that, Xbox getting pulled off Walmart. We like physical on PlayStation. Didn't you say you missed the digital? I swear I thought he said, I missed the digital. I'm not bothered by this. That's a hypocrite.
PlayStation is 100% coded in greed with manipulation of data and abusing their current position of having most of the hardcore console market. That is 100% correct in a lot of terms. Sony is trying to get a monopoly on the market to where if they got rid of physical, you're not getting cuts anymore. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Amazon.
So it's good when PlayStation do it, but it's bad when Xbox does it. Okay.
On GameStop, EP Games, whatever is left over, right? You see what I'm saying? It's all going to be within the PlayStation Store through 100% digital profit. And Sony knows what they're doing.
Oh, so Sony knows what they're doing, but Xbox doesn't. Wow! Even though Xbox beat them to the punch before they did. Well, that's some basic knowledge.
There's a difference. They're not going
Oh, there's a difference. Oh, now it's a difference. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It ain't no difference. It's the same exact thing, except PlayStation is doing it now, and they're doing it further like Xbox. You ain't proving nothing, bro.
For PlayStation doing that, they're looking to make more money, already knowing how loyal their base is.
Oh, yeah, they're so loyal that you guys went out there and picked up Soros.
I sold over 100 plus million. If I looked at my base and I knew it was 80 to 85%, and I saw that Grand Theft Auto was going 100% digital too, And I see that PCs like that, all mobiles like that, a bunch of hypocrites, all Xboxes like that.
You're the hypocrite.
The only world where this doesn't exist like that probably won't do that, is Nintendo.
I'm telling you, Nintendo. I'm on record telling you Nintendo's going to do it. I'm telling you, Nintendo is going to do it. You Nintendo fanboys, hold on. Keep smelling and tasting them cartridges. Nintendo is preparing that. I'm hearing that they're going to try to do some... I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing. They're going to do some physical deals with like Stellar Blade and all that. They're going to try to put these games on the cartridge because of what's going on with PlayStation, right? But Nintendo's also going to be pushing digital too. All right? Now when you buy a game on Switch 2, it's treated as a license and not an actual full game purchase. You guys do know that. I've even exposed that already. So what are you talking about? Nintendo's also going to be pushing for digital as well. You probably only got one more good generation out of Nintendo, and then they're going to be just like PlayStation and Xbox. I'm telling you. And understand who you heard it from first.
And it's probably what surprised them. But then again, you have the biggest third-party market for disc support, because third-party...
Yeah, they have so much disc support that Ubisoft, with the disc, is now putting the game on the... Like, you got to understand, it beats the purpose. There's so many games that are being printed on just Xbox and PlayStation alone, like Crimson Desert, and what is the point? The game is not even on the disc. It's stupid. I'm just saying, it's stupid. Y'all know this. This has been going on for a lot longer. The Maddens, the 2Ks, this has been going on PlayStation and Xbox for a while. It has.
It's way bigger than first party in every world except Nintendo. And even then, they have a lot of third-party support now. So when you look at the
and how was that third-party support doing? Oh, that's right, game keys though, right? Game keys though. How you gonna even throw Nintendo in third? What do you mean? They don't even got Dead or Alive 6 last round. Y'all ain't even got Borderlands 4. Y'all ain't even got 007 First Light. What are you talking about, bro? Nintendo ain't even getting ports. You're getting old ass Lies of P, Elden Ring, and you Nintendros out here running like you getting real third party? Last time I checked, Xenoverse 3 is not dropping on your platform. At least for right now. Like, what are you talking about? You guys sound ridiculous. Yes, Nintendo is getting some third party, but they're not getting all third party.
The Nintendo Switch 2 third-party support is the biggest you've ever seen in Nintendo history lately.
Game keys, though.
PlayStation, Xbox, they're falling off. And then Steam...
Yeah. Xbox is falling off so much that they got GTA 6 and the Switch 2 don't.
Right? You think about, okay, who has the biggest third party? Easily Sony, right? Because they have that install base.
Microsoft's going to have a bigger third party with the Helix when Good Old Games and Steam jumps into the mix with the Helix. Helix, I want you. Helix, I want you. Then who's going to have the bigger third party then going into that gen? Oh, that's right, Xbox. Yikes.
Think about that. That's physical representation of third party. Who has that when it comes to disc? Sony, more than anybody.
I don't know, because I bought Sonic Shadow Generations on my Xbox, and the data was on the disc, so I don't know what the hell you talking about.
There's no third-party disc on Steam. Xbox they don't buy anything. They've been conditioned on Game Pass.
I mean, this is one of the worst. So if Xbox gamers don't buy anything, then explain why Soros failed. Explain why Soros failed. Explain why Marathon failed. Explain why Concord failed. Explain why Blue Point Studios got shut down if all Xbox gamers do is don't buy anything. These are the false narratives that you guys have been pushing throughout this gaming community. I mean, like I've said, I even broke it down that not all Nintendo Switch 2 owners are buying every Switch 2 game either. So there's something not everybody that bought a Switch 2 bought it to play Mario Tennis FIFA. That game flopped. Okay? So what are we doing?
So this is what makes PlayStation be seen as manipulators. And
I'm done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. The only person manipulating here is you. You're a fanboy. Somebody told me you traded your powerful PC for a PS5 Pro. Guess what? You reap what you sow. Going all digital, baby. Sony gonna be pulling your movies. They're gonna be pulling your games. And the only thing you gonna have in your head is a beanie hat. That's all you got, little Lono. You ain't got nothing good. Thought you was gonna get Gear Z Day on your platform. Best thing that ever happened. Microsoft saved you from that Gears 1v1 challenge. Amateur. All this man do is yap over nothing, bro. This man hasn't said nothing of any sort of substance. No substance at all. You know, literally, little Lono, Dreamcast guy and a half. Like, bruh, we had to demote you. You no longer Dreamcast guy too no more. One guy said that's an insult to Dreamcast guy. At least the man does call out PlayStation. But you ain't nothing but a corporate bootlicker. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. Peace out.